Button in front of Zygmunt. Dwan first to speak. Feldman going to raise it up.
Raise, 2,000.
Tilting anyone? Well, it's got sixes.
Well, that's at least a part of the hand. 2 6s.
I'm all in.
And Mike's all in.
Well, Mike's only got 14,000.
No, this is a no-brainer for Mike.
Yeah. Just like I said a while ago, he's got the perfect shove-reshove stack.
How much is that?
And he can get paid off with a lot of different things right here.
It's on Zygmunt right now, and Zygmunt's got ace-queen. He's going to call.
14,100 total.
Wow.
And that might save Feldman.
Yeah, I think that saved Andrew Feldman. I think it did.
You start putting Mike the Mouth on a range of hands, and I think Andrew Feldman probably would have had to call with the sixes.
I agree.
This is going to save him, though. He's not going to be in there against 2 players. Or is he?
I'm sorry.
Damn Canadians.
Didn't know it was on me.
Just sitting there thinking about Canada.
Yeah. Pondering the motherland.
Wow. 12,000 more. He's only got 62. I think I would shove all in here before I would call. Oh. So they're using Mike's singing donkey against him. And look here, Andrew Feldman has called this pre-flop.
Mike the Mouth, truly one of the characters of the game, but he's got a lot of talent. It's not just the mouth.
3 deuce 9. Check.
Well, top set for Mike the Mouth, so he's going to win the main pot.
Oh, there's a couple of runners here still alive.
Good point. They're still runners, but I'm going to go on a limb and say Mike Matusow is going to win the main pot, which is going to be $44,000. Now the question is, will there be a side pot? And this is the problem. What do you do now at the sixes?
11,000.
Well, I mean, pure and simple. If I've called it pre-flop and I get a flop reduced 3-9, I'm shipping right here. Especially against 11,000.
So you're going to check raise all in.
Stack size-wise, I don't think Andrew Feldman has a choice.
I mean, the weird thing is there's no side pot. Before that 11,000, there was no side pot. So you might think, well, why is Zygmunt betting? Zygmunt must have a real hand then, right?
Yes and no. It looks to me like he's trying to isolate Mike Matusow for cheap. 11,000 only. I feel weakness here. I would shove.
And Zygmunt, by the way, has about $220,000 behind. Feldman just was not deep enough to make this call. I think sometimes, and he's going to let it go now.
Yeah.
He shakes his head in disgust. I think he knows he made the mistake, and he lets it go.
The good news is I'm in the lead. The bad news is how many outs does he have? Hopefully none.
I have nothing.
Oh, he's got no outs. That's even better. Just no running 4 or 5, and I'll be all right.
Mike the Mouth, a commanding lead here.
Yeah, he's in good
Zygmunt
shape
needs running
here.
cards.
Your world ain't over yet.
Oh, and a
Now
6
your
on the
world's
turn.
We get pocket 6s?
But it wouldn't have been enough.
No, would not have been enough. And Mike the Mouth takes that down.
Subdued applause.
I just moved. That is a donkey. I mean, I move in, the ace queen moves in, and the 2 6s overcall.
10 tournaments, right? We're like even money, the cash ones.
Really? Is that right? Okay, me and him, even money. For our cash.
No, you guys are always folding your way into the money, though.
Robert, I want to talk to you about short stack played.
And that's your partner.
Because Mike the Mouth, who was down to 14,400, is back up to 44,000.
He maneuvered and dodged, and he did a lot of things with his stack there.
600 to play.
Odd play here, though. Mike Matusow limping with 2 aces.
Cool.
Well, wait a second. We talked about this earlier on. Remember, he limped earlier with like some garbage hands, and he was getting raised off. And you said, well, if you're gonna limp with the garbage hands, you got to limp with your monsters.
Occasionally, I said occasionally, and I like, especially if somebody else is open raised. He's out of position here. I don't know.
You don't like it, huh?
Cool.
I'm not a big fan of this one.
Anyway.
No.
Well, normally Zygmunt would be the one that would have 3-bet him, or at least raised it. Nobody did, and now Matusow is going to have to see this flop 4 ways. King, queen, deuce, rainbow. Unlikely anybody would have a king, queen in their hands. Ivey with 3s.
Well, I think if Mike bets here,
Bet 1,600.
he might get paid off by somebody. Probably not.
Cool. 16 to play.
Phil Ivey with 2 threes. That's a pretty dangerous board to be giving him credit.
Hello, Philly boy.
Hey, Mike.
Got anything?
Figured I'd do the job myself.
Yeah, might as well.
Jack. Jack or bet?
Check.
No, he's just calling one time, I think, see what happens.
Well, you might get a free card now. That definitely is a scary turn card.
Bet 3,000. 3 to call.
And Mike is in check call mode.
Yeah, I think that turn card reassured that.
Check or bet?
I'm not sure if you love that river, though, if you're Mike.
I'll give him another chance to swing. I'm looking to check call again. Let Phil swing at it again.
Bet 8,000.
Well, Mike's already taken longer than I would have taken. To me, this is pure and simple. If he caught a queen, I pay him off.
With the line that Mike took, you're saying, hey, you know what? There's no way I can check fold this. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, no.
Okay.
Because he hasn't represented any strength at all. Phil could be betting just about any part of this board. And matter of fact, he's a favorite to be betting the king, not the queen. If he's got the king, I just got to pay it off. Now, I wouldn't raise, which looks like Mike at first was considering. I wouldn't raise, but I would call this, absolutely.
Hello, Philly.
Hey, Mikey.
Got anything?
I think so.
You think so? I hate to hear that.
Yeah, Mike has under-repped his hand.
He has to take that into consideration here. I mean, that's a very important factor that he's never exposed the fact that he has what he has, 2 aces. Wow, I can't believe he's taking this long.
He calls.
2 pair.
Aces up.
He hates it, but now he loves it.
Okay. Sorry.
Did you see the surprise on Phil Ivey's face?
Am I right? Can I beat anything?
King?
I can beat King Jack. That's all I can beat.
Ace King?
He'd raise Ace King.
And just like that, Mike Matusow's back up to almost 60,000 from being down to 14.
Once again, this is not a tournament. Mike the Mouth could have just reached in his pocket and gotten more money, but he decided to kind of battle back.
You can't lay 2 to 1. You got even a donkey can get lucky in one time.
You just said that 175 was fair to lay Phil Ivey.
Oh, I see.
I got to
you
sweat the
too.
both
I
of you.
see.
You guys can have me drawing dead after
Yeah,
first.
you're right. It's a better bet to go 2 to 1 against you. I do agree with you there.
That's the
I
problem.
weren't thinking about it.
I could be drawing dead.
I could
What's that?
too.
Almost.
I could too.
No, you can't.
You are drawing dead.
And it's 600 to play.
Sunny London. It is actually sunny out.
I know, it was a beautiful day. I saw it on breaks.
600 to play. Pass.
I'm from an arid climate, so I must have brought the weather with me. I'll take
600
credit
to play.
for it, all you Londoners. I love it here, by the way.
It's just like you. A guy from Texas, so humble.
Raise to 2,000. 2,000 to call.
2,000 from Dwan. Feldman going to call.
1,700 more.
I think that was a button call, not a I like my hand call.
Yeah, well, he's got
10
position.
off,
14 to play.
No, not him.
A 300.
and it looks like we're going to have 4 players to the flop.
I know Mike likes this kind of hand because it's the kind of hand where he can draw to the nuts.
Well, there's a lot of dominated hands out here. There's 3 8s, so if the 4th 8 came, we could see some action on this.
9 do 7. Check or bet.
Mike the Mouth's going to like this one. He's flopped the nut flush draw.
Nobody else really flopped much. I mean, Patrick Antonius has an opening straight draw,
Bet. 6,000.
and I guess he likes his
6,000 to
opening
call.
straight draw.
It's nice, just a little semi-bluff. And when I say semi-bluff, help us out.
Well, basically, when you're bluffing with outs, in other words, he led into this flop
Call.
because he
6,000.
has a straight draw, so it's really not a bluff, but it's not a made hand
6,000 to
either.
play.
All right, right now he only has 10 high. So he's hoping you take it down. But if it gets called, hey, he's still got outs.
That's right.
I don't think Feldman's going to call this unless he gets creative. No.
It would be extremely creative.
Well, we've seen it before from him. Heads up. The mouth versus the fin.
Oh, that's a good card for Mikey.
Yeah, well, Mike with top pair and the nut flush draw. Antonius drawing very thin.
Well,
Needs
now,
a jack or a 6. It's not a club.
with that card there, that might freeze up Patrick Antonius. Oh, wow, and Mike Matusow checks back.
9. Check or bet.
I'm not a fan of that check back.
Well, you can't like the river card as well because if Patrick Antonius was betting the 9 on the flop, well, now he's got trips.
And Patrick Antonius very well could represent that.
I mean, if you're Mike the Mouth, because you have clubs, you probably put Antonius on, what, a 7 or 9, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bet.
But you know the only thing here? If he had a 9...
13,000 to call.
Feels like to me he might have gone ahead and bet the turn with that much of a coordinated board. 2 hearts, 2 clubs. Wants to punish the draws. It's a very tough call for Mike, mainly not just because of the 9 threat. He has a weak ace. I mean, his 8 kicker plays, but most of the time his 8 kicker isn't going to be good.
Yeah, he can only beat a bluff here. I mean, Antonius is either betting a bigger ace or 9. Mike makes the call, though.
I guess we've got it.
Oh, you got it. Don't worry. We want it.
Great call from the Mouth.
Absolutely great call.
2 pairs, aces and 9s.
Well played by what used to be our shortest stack by far, and he's managed to work his stack right up. Heck, Mike's less than 20,000 loser now. Uh-oh.
Let's enjoy it for a second. I'm waiting for somebody to punch that donkey in the face.
Join us after the break for more action from the FullTiltPoker.com $1 Million Cash Game. Welcome back to the FullTiltPoker.com $1 Million Cash Game.
Nice Chinese poker game after this. Real high.
Yeah, real
high as the sky.
We're starting at 11.
20K. 20K.
20K crisscross.
We're dealing the cards
I'll
tomorrow
play
at 11
30K
a.m.
crisscross once.
Tomorrow the cards are in the air at 11. So
You hear that? The cards are in the air at 11 a.m. So I think you should all play as late as you can tonight and enjoy your Chinese game.
600 to call.
It's pretty sick.
Play like 10 hands of it, too.
You win?
Raise
lost
to
60,000.
1,800.
60?
I was ahead like 800, and he won it all back in like 2 hands. And so I think I'm going to quit.
1,800 to play.
I think I was ahead like 20-something points or something. Lost it all back. 2 hands.
20 what?
So I was ahead like, I don't know, 27 points.
1,800 to play.
Oh, it's party time for the Mouth. Where's that donkey now?
Yeah.
Raise to 6,600.
Come on, Texan. What are those? Those are the Cowboys, right?
They're the Cowboys, and Mike's trying to spur them on.
6,300 more.
Mike 3 bets up to 6,600. Ivey gets out of the way.
I think the only thing that might save Peter Jetten here is that Mike the Mouth has been playing so tight.
Now, this one's a little bit different.
4,800 more.
The Mike the Mouth is such a tight player. Can Jetten fold jacks?
It's so hard to fold these pre-flop.
Do you have any blacks, Mike?
You might want to see at least the flop, but at the same time, Mike the Mouth has been playing extremely tight. So I got a feeling we're going to see Peter Jetten this hand. He might even 4-bet here. I think he thinks he's got the best hand. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. I would either fold or flat.
No.
And he flats.
Jetten's going to flat, and the only thing, if you're flatting, if you are going to call pre-flop, you are going to flat, so to speak, you better have a plan on the flop if all babies come out there. Queen 8-3.
Check or bet.
Rainbow. Matusow still in command with his kings.
Check.
Oh, now that might actually really hurt Peter Jetten because Mike the Mouth slow playing his 2 kings. It feels like the 2 jacks are good now. I might even lead here.
Check or bet.
Check.
And check. Wow.
Mike just content to win what's in there?
I mean, it's okay to have pot control, but this is ridiculous. I mean, he's not making any money off this hand. He should have bet the turn for sure. Now he might not be able to bet the river because there's 3 diamonds on the board.
He's got to bet this, though. Pot's nearly 15,000.
I don't think he's going to get the chance to bet it. I think he's going to have to call now, which I think he'll do in a very quick manner.
Well, he's induced this bluff. I mean, it's actually not a bluff. I think Jetten thinks he has the best hand.
I call.
Bet 11,000.
Queens. I thought he had queens. He had jacks. I thought he had queens.
And Matusow snap calls, shows his 2 black kings.
Nice hand.
Probably got my stack of jack coming.
Sorry?
I was sure you had queens in my head.
Wow.
And look at this for Mike the Mouth. Mike the Mouth is now up $200. What a turnaround for the Mouth.
Wow. What a great recovery by Mike Matusow.
Now, you got to give him credit. I don't know if anybody's played better at this table.
But,
100
Phil side or what?
Mike, can we bet 1,000? Yeah. I got red.
Well, I'm running good, man. Dude, don't be pulling against my boy Phil. Well, whatever Phil's side is, I'm even going to bet
No,
more.
you're not betting. Please don't bet. Please. Can you do me a favor? See, I bet 150 on that.
Mike, I'll bet you
1,000 on them.
No,
you
you give it 1,000 on them.
you'll pay it back.
You bet 1,000 on.
Come on. Huh? I still have some money. You said he's up $6 million on poker on you.
1,200
So I was.
No, he said I'm up.
Oh, you're up $6 million.
That's what he says. I don't see how, but I'm sure he's probably off by only about.
Raise to 3,500.
That's what he claims. What about the golf? How am I doing in that? Let's hear this fantasy of yours.
You really want to talk about it here?
No.
National TV.
With this lineup, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a lot of straddling. Once again, this time Benjamin straddles. Feldman raises to 3,500 with the 10-9. Patrick Antonius calls.
11,500 now.
Matusow doesn't believe it. He is going to 3-bet this to 11,500, and this pot is ballooning up. Remember, the blinds are 300, 600, the $1,200 straddle. You've got a raise in first position from Feldman, a call from Patrick Antonius, and I think a lot of dead money out there. Matusow thought it was the perfect opportunity to squeeze.
8,000 more to call.
He couldn't help himself. I'll tell you what, a squeeze play is probably the right play here, but Matusow's squeezing with the best hand. Squeeze play is where another player has opened a pot, especially if there's some dead money out there, you get a caller or two, and then the last player to act, they make a re-raise to try to win the pot.
Well, the action is on Andrew Feldman. He's deciding what to do.
How you guys doing?
And while he's deciding, none other than Tom Dwan, our big winner so far, has joined the table.
You just wake up?
Hour ago or so, half an hour ago, something like that. I don't know what time it is really.
He's got his cup of coffee and he's ready to play.
All of them should be drinking coffee. I think they were all playing well into the night last night.
Wow, shocking. Poker players playing poker way into the night?
8,000 to call.
And the play is going to work by Matusow. Feldman folds. Antonius gets out of the way. And Matusow, who way back when was down to about $14,000, did not rebuy.
Interestingly enough.
But he's up over $112,000.
He's developed a tight image. His image alone got him that money right there.
The $1 Million Cash Game leaderboard. These are the players in the game. Dwan, our big leader overall. He's up over $118,000. Zygmunt and Patrick Antonius, our big losers combined. They're down nearly $200,000. Mike Matusow now up $25,100. Doesn't seem like that big a win until you start thinking, wow, he was down $86,000.
I think he had ace-5.
You got a $10,000 bet, so he didn't have ace.
And you get the rest.
What's that? I get the rest. He get any ace. He has any ace rag you win.
Antonius on the button. Ivey in the big blind.
600. Pass.
Or you can bet less too. You don't have to bet 10,000.
That doesn't seem a good bet in my favor.
Well, you can bet small. You can bet like a dime. For the dime I'm going to lose on the other bet.
Action on the Brit. It's Feldman.
You're convinced that I'm going to win that?
I think you are now.
Well, this would normally seem like a great spot to try to make a steal, but Phil Ivey's the big blind here. I don't like it.
Cool. Any raise?
I will, probably.
Probably.
Nope.
No raise.
No.
Nah, for you,
Friendly?
you look a little funny there, my friend.
I always look funny.
10-4 queen.
Queen 10-4, a couple of diamonds.
Bet 2,000.
Matusow top pair, and he's going to bet 2,000. Ivey calls.
Ivey decides to float this flop.
Queen.
Wow,
Check
he can
with
float all day now. Matusow's got 3 queens.
Bet 4,000. 4 to call.
Okay, this is a question for me. Matusow's going to bet on the 4,000. Would you ever check if you're Matusow knowing that Ivey's probably floating?
I would absolutely. When that turn card comes right there, I go ahead and check. I'll give an aggressive player like Phil Ivey a chance to hang themselves. So we've got to give him a little rope.
I mean, although it is a draw-heavy board, I mean, there are 2 diamonds out there. There are straight draws out there. Maybe you're scared if
well, there
a
is
diamond, an 8, a king were to come up, but you can't play scared poker.
I don't want to beat you. You got a
Big
lot of
hand
money.
there. I made a big
Big
lay
flop.
down.
Big flop. Big draw.
I had 10.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
My 10 was good. Was it good or no?
What do you
It wasn't a good 10.